Welcome to Drunk Bible Study. This show's mission is to read every single word of the greatest story ever told. A warning to our listeners, the hosts of this show are sinners, but they're doing their best. There will be drinking and there may be some swears. They did say they'd try to keep it clean, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
I made a memory about your dad. He's in a book. Whoa, whoa. He has a history of skimming past all the pages of ageless confessional shit.
I'm Emily, and this is Drunk Bible Study, where my good friends Dedeker and Jace teach me, a born and raised atheist, all about the Bible. So Jace and Dedeker, how y'all doing today?
Oh, Emily, have you
yes?
heard the news? The
Good news.
Have you heard the good news?
I have, but why don't you tell the audience what it is?
I will, yes. There is a really cool new club on social media, everyone's favorite social media. The Book
Facebook?
of Faces.
The Book of Faces, yes.
No,
Ooh.
it's super cool. There's a fan group, a listener group that's an open group, so anyone can join. It's called Drunk Bible Study Fans and Fellowship. And
I
there's
love
some,
the name so much.
I know. I
That is
have
great.
wonderful
Well done.
visions of us cramming into a fellowship hall. There's some cookies and pink lemonade. and
It's so good.
I know.
Is this like a thing that y'all did back in the day when you were in your own fellowships of the ring?
You don't even know. You don't even know, Emily. Such fellowship was had. at
Yeah,
church
no, this is
anyway.
like after a church service. Have you ever done this? Like after a church service, there's the fellowship hall where you go and like socialize and hang out and have cookies and coffee.
I'm pretty sure the only time that I've ever done this is with you, Jace, when we went to your church.
Up in Seattle,
the church.
yeah.
Correct. Yeah. And we sang at it. And then afterwards, we were trying to get people to like buy our little CD. And then,
the fellowship
people were
hall,
having
yeah.
cookies and stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and
Totally.
you usually have, some coffee with that like powdery creamer stuff. It's just real good quality
definitely.
stuff.
Real good quality stuff.
Oh,
Anyway,
boy, yes.
people are having discussions. People are talking about, like a couple episodes ago when we had that question around, what did it mean to you growing up to pray? What is your understanding of how one prays? So people are talking about that. People are talking about songs that they knew growing up in
Yes.
church and stuff that's come up in the show. So anyway, if you want to take part in that, go on Facebook, search for Drunk Bible Study Fans and Fellowship, and join the community. We would love to have you. We're all in there.
Yeah.
It'll be great. Come join, come have that weird crumbly creamer coffee that we all know and love.
It's continuing my education, which is very nice. So I
There's all
appreciate
these,
it for that
these
reason.
kind of microculture things of growing up in a church that I
Yeah.
love being able to explain to you, Emily.
Thank you.
It's-
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty funny. Anyway, I'm doing great because I'm super jazzed about that.
Yeah.
How about
y'all
you,
doing?
Jace?
I'm also great. I'm just excited to be reading more of this book with you two. And I wanted, Emily, can you please remind me what happened last time?
I know that we had a guest on, and that was fun.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember who the guest was?
Yes, it was Brian from Queer Theology.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do we read?
Some Deuteronomy.
Yeah, good.
8 to, or no, what was it, 10 to 13.
Yep.
And I'm assuming Moses had some stuff to say, and that was
Lots.
about it.
Yeah,
Don't
we
remember
talked,
much other than that, honestly.
There was, of course, some recap, but then we talked about how if anyone, even if you love them, is trying to convince you to worship another god, you should kill them right away.
Yeah,
and
stoning, I think,
you-
is preferred.
And you should be the one to do it specifically.
Definitely.
Just no reservations. Go ahead and straight up kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
So, it's all, good,
And-
wholesome fun.
And Brian encouraged us to also think about the Israelites as a marginalized people, and from their viewpoint.
Oh, yeah.
it's-
And your
yeah.
mind was blown.
That my mind was
Yeah.
blown. You're right.
it does
That is-
change some things for sure.
It
Yeah.
does. Because when you hear this, like all these millions of people in this tribe, it's harder to be sympathetic to them. But when we realize, like we've talked about before, those numbers are probably not real human numbers like we think about them, but are something else. And it was probably
Something
actually
else entirely.
Yeah, it was probably actually much fewer people than that. And so the idea of them maybe taking land from these other people isn't this nation coming along and just taking whatever they want, and instead is maybe a disenfranchised people finally like getting some land of their own. I don't know. I still have mixed feelings about it, but it is at least opens up some different ways of looking at it, which is cool.
Yeah, that's important. So what are we all drinking today?
I'm going to save mine
the
for
really
last.
important part. Oh, okay. Well, I'll go first.
Yeah,
then.
go ahead.
So I am drinking red wine because my Invisalign is off.
Woo!
It's so off.
Let's
Get off the chain. Yeah, I'm really pleased about that. I will say that when they take the little nubbins off, they have to drill it off, and there's some interesting smells that happen with that. It's like
I've had that
drilling
happen
into-
before. Yeah.
oh yeah, oh boy, but it's worth it. It's awesome. So I don't have to worry about staining my retainers. So I'm having a lovely Tempranillo, and it's good times. Oh yeah, blood of Christ. Here we are.
Well, I would like to welcome you both to this continuing episode of Drunk Dental Surgery.
Oh,
No.
yeah, I forgot, Dedeker.
yeah.
Because I also had some dental procedures. I had an implant put in, so I'm not drinking anything other than the good painkillers that they gave me
What
to
kind
deal
of
with having
What kind of drinkable painkillers are you on?
Oh, no drinkable painkillers, but takeable, eatable painkillers for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So you
That's
might
what I'm high on today.
Yeah, so you might be a little extra tired or maybe extra inspired and creative, depending on how these painkillers treat you.
Too inspired to be tired, baby.
There
I
you
love
go.
that.
There
That's
you go.
good.
Well done.
That's good. So I'm going to tell you a story about this drink that I'm drinking. So
Yeah,
I was.
you really are building it up here, Jace, which is unlike you.
It is unlike
You
me, I
usually,
know.
yeah.
So I was in the store yesterday, in the convenience store here in Japan, and this is my last week here. So next episode we're recording, I won't be in Japan anymore. Sad. But I was
But
in the
you'll be in LA,
convenience.
yay.
Yeah, I'll be with Emily though, which is it's even more exciting. And I
Well,
was
thanks.
in the convenience store picking out some drinks to drink just normal times, and then I locked eyes with this drink across the room. And then as I got closer to it, my hand started reaching for it. I suddenly realized the horror of what was happening as I reached into this case and got myself a Zima that they still sell in Japan. They're everywhere here.
What is a Zima?
A Zima? What my memory of Zima.
Dedeker knows what it is.
Yeah. Zima was like Smirnoff Ice before Smirnoff Ice was a thing. It was kind of this clear, sugary thing that was advertised as sort of the hip, sexy beer alternative that cool guys who wear Matrix style glasses and also women can drink was kind of the way it was marketed. I remember there was an ad for Zima when I was a kid that involved a guy like walking, he's like walking and then walks like up the wall and on the ceiling, that whole
So he was
special
in the
effect
Matrix.
thing. I guess so. This
Okay.
was before the Matrix was a thing. This is like when I was a kid, like way before I could drink alcohol. I remember seeing these ads on TV and thinking the ad was cool, even if I wasn't going to drink the drink. But anyway, here I am drinking a Zima, and let me know. I'm going to let you know how it is.
Oh, here he goes.
Oh my. Oh boy. You know what? I actually will say I think that's better than a Smirnoff.
Really?
Well, that's
It's-
a
I mean,
low
it's-
bar to
it's a low
clear,
bar.
okay?
It's not. It's not bad. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be totally honest.
Is
with
it
you.
less sugary or more sugary than a Smirnoff?
I would say it's still very sugary. So don't get me
Okay.
wrong. It's a sugary drink.
What does it taste of?
It reminds me a little bit of there's like some kind of candy it reminds me of, and it's not quite Smarties, but
The
something
tears of frat boys.
it's something adjacent to that. Well, that's the thing is I don't know if Zima was marketed to frat boys or at least was popular with them in the same way that Smirnoff Ice was. I'm not sure because this was also so long ago that apparently they're only still selling it in Japan. So here we are, drinking a Zima.
Well, to
Wow.
the 90s. I love it.
Yeah.
There it is. Everything that was once old or once new is old and hip again. I don't know where I was going with that, but here we are. Nostalgia, baby.
All right.
Okay.
There's that Tempranillo talking. Okay. Today,
Yeah, in a
everyone,
16-hour workday.
Yeah.
Go.
Everybody, pull out your Bibles and follow along because we are going to be reading Deuteronomy 14, 15, and 16, continuing along with the story that Moses is telling us about what has already happened and what's going to happen and all the rules we need to follow. So we want to remind everyone as we're reading to read responsibly and drink responsibly.
You can drink your 90s themed drinks along with us, or you can listen while you're in the car.
But please do not do both at the same time.
Oh, yeah. I'm into this, Zima. I'm going to get some more of these.
Well, Zima your way into this first chapter, please.
All right, here we go with Deuteronomy 14. You are the children of Yahweh your God. You shall not cut yourselves, nor make any baldness between your eyes for the dead.
Don't
Wait,
you wait? Don't
I
you,
got
you already have baldness. You already unless you have a unibrow, you got some baldness in between your eyes.
But don't make any baldness.
So you can't pluck your eyebrows, and you can't give yourself tattoos. Is that the tattoo line?
What tattoo line?
You shall not cut yourselves. Well, maybe that's just like, don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, I'm super like no. Don't do surgery on yourselves.
Come here.
I'm also confused because I thought we were very clear on like yes, definitely cut all your little boys' private parts.
Yeah,
and
cut that part off, but don't do like Job where you take pottery and scrape your skin clean off.
I don't know. It's like
we're done with that now. It's gauche.
Is cutting and scraping the same though? I don't even know.
Well, I'm going to write down the baldness between your eyes for a little bonus trivia.
Okay.
You can look up later.
Oh, wait. Oh, this is what? You are the children of the Lord your God. Do not cut yourselves or shave the front of your heads for the dead.
Huh. Okay.
Oh.
So I'm presuming that must have been a tradition amongst other tribes, or maybe a tradition they did, and now they're like, nah, it's a bad look.
Right. So it's specifically when mourning, don't cut yourself. Got it.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Now that we're good, we've made it through one verse. Here we go.
Great.
For you are a holy people to Yahweh your God, and Yahweh has chosen you to be a people for his possession above all peoples who are on the face of the earth. You shall not eat any abominable thing.
Oh, we're back to the review of which animals you can eat and not eat.
Good.
Yes, this is...
It has been a while, and so I have forgotten.
In
true.
NIV, it's called clean and unclean food. Is the subheader.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we shall not eat any abominable thing. These
Or snowmen.
or abominable snowmen, yes. These are the animals which you may eat: the ox, the sheep, and the goat, the hart, and the gazelle, and the seers and roebuck, and the wild... Sorry. It said... and the roebuck. I don't know what that is, but it sounded like the seers and roebuck.
A robot? Oh.
And the robots?
Are you
no
too,
robots.
do you remember Sears and Roebuck, or are you too young?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course I remember
Okay.
Sears and Roebuck.
What is that? No.
You know, like they put out the catalog every year. It was what Sears was before they became Sears. They were Sears and Roebuck.
Yeah, it was like another company's name that was also part of it, or another person's name. Yeah.
I know what Sears is, but not Roebuck.
Yeah.
According to this, we can eat it. We can eat Sears and Roebuck.
Great.
And the wild
The
goat,
entire company.
and the gazelle, and the antelope, and the chamois. What?
What?
Chamois?
And the chamois, like the super
ShamWow?
chamois.
The ShamWow, yes.
Yes, you can eat that, apparently. You
Oh, the
always
chamois,
cool with that.
it's some, yes, okay, it's some kind of creature.
It's
That's
the
where we get
mountain
chamois
sheep.
from.
Oh, really? That's named
Oh.
after a fuzzy
Yes.
creature that we
Maybe
washed
not.
cars with back in the day?
Yeah, like chamois leather. Yeah.
Oh, fascinating. I had no
yeah.
idea.
This is the ox, the sheep, the goat, the deer, the gazelle, the roe deer, the wild goat, the ibex, the antelope, and the mountain sheep.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, according to Wikipedia, the chamois, it's a species of goat antelope that's native to some certain mountains in Europe.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And apparently that's what people used to use for cleaning their cars before before we made synthetic
Back in,
chamois. Yeah.
in biblical ages.
Yeah.
Maybe they used it to buff out the Ark of the Covenant.
Oh, that's a good idea, actually. I hope they
Right?
did. I remember
Yeah.
they packaged it up in sealskins earlier. But anyway, so those
Oh,
ones
yeah, I
are
forgot
those ones are
wow,
cool.
that's a callback.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you like that?
I do.
All right. Every animal that parts the hoof and has the hoof cloven in two, yes, and chews the cud among the animals, that may you eat. Nevertheless,
so you can do
Yeah.
cloven animals.
yeah, like goats have
Cloven.
cloven hooves, so that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
You can
Okay,
eat the
okay.
goats. Yeah, I always had that backwards too. But yeah, eat the cloves. Those are fine. Nevertheless, you shall not eat of them that chew the cud, or of those who have the hoof cloven. Okay, so these are the exceptions to that general rule. The camel and the hare and the rabbit, because they chew the cud but don't part the hoof, they are unclean to you.
What?
Okay, so they do chew cud, but they don't have cloven hooves, so they're no good.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
got it.
Oh, so it's like an either or. It's like a not all animals who chew the cud can you eat.
It's a logic problem.
Correct.
It's like SAT stuff right here.
No, it's like a LSAT stuff.
Right,
This is how
totally.
you become a lawyer.
You know what? That actually probably is, at this time, what you need to know to become a lawyer.
There you go. Okay.
The pig, because he doesn't part the hoof, but doesn't chew the cud. So it's like, why would you even consider a pig? He doesn't do either of the things.
Yeah,
that are,
exactly.
like,
Come on.
come on. He is unclean to you. Of the flesh you shall not eat, and their carcasses you shall not touch.
So this is why, many Orthodox Jewish people do not eat pig.
Not even just Orthodox ones. A lot of Jewish people don't eat pig, don't eat
Yeah.
pork, because it's pretty clear right here. Don't
Yeah.
do it. You're always like, no, this one doesn't follow any of the rules.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, these you may eat of all that are in the waters. Whatever has fins and scales, you eat. May you eat.
Okay.
And whatever doesn't have fins and scales, you shall not eat. It is unclean to you.
Okay, so that
So
means
no dolphins or sharks.
well, they do
Right.
have fins.
But no scales.
Dolphin has fins,
But
but
no
no
scales.
scales.
So you can't
Okay, it
eat
has to
them.
have both?
Yes.
It has to have
Well,
both.
what?
Like
What
earlier,
doesn't-
you had to chew the cud and have cloven hooves. You can't just do one or
Okay.
the other.
Right, so no octopi, squid,
No,
shrimp,
no
or
clams,
mollusks.
shellfish,
mussels,
no
yeah.
clams.
Oh yeah, no shellfish. Yeah.
So it sounds like
Cool.
just fishes, just little fishes.
Pretty much
Fish.
just fishes. What about,
Okay.
are like eels okay?
No, they don't. They don't got scales.
They don't have
They barely
scales?
have fins.
They don't
no.
have a fin. They're like a one long thing.
The whole thing is one fin. Okay, all right.
It's a giant long fin.
And who would want to eat an eel anyway, except for several countries and cultures? But in the desert, I mean,
Okay, maybe in the desert, yes. I just had some eel the other day. It was delicious.
great.
Anyway, of
I'll take your
all
word for it.
of all clean birds you may eat, but these are they of which you shall not eat: the eagle and the gyre eagle.
I thought that said ginger eagle. I looked at it. Which I don't know. I don't know what that would be like.
Yeah.
Like a red-headed eagle.
Okay, so any type of eagle. No, so the eagle and the gyre eagle, I don't know, and the osprey, and the red kite, and the falcon, and the
Oh.
kite after its kind, and and every raven after its kind.
Back.
No
We have
frickin'
to drink
ravens.
to that.
Yeah,
we
let's
have
drink
to drink to
every
every
kind of
raven and
raven.
every kind of raven.
So they called the gyre eagle a vulture in the NIV.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Let's if we do a quick little Google of a gyre eagle or a gear eagle, it does not look like a vulture. An Egyptian vulture. So it is also called the white scavenger vulture or Pharaoh's chicken.
Why didn't they just say that here? Could have been way better.
They're like, don't eat Pharaoh's chicken. He's going to be real upset.
No. Only
seriously.
Pharaoh gets to eat Pharaoh's chicken.
Oh,
Okay,
boy.
so it is similar to a vulture. It doesn't look quite as ugly as the vultures that we're thinking of. I'd believe if someone said that's called a Pharaoh's chicken, I'd be like, I believe it.
Okay. All right.
Google
Cool.
it.
Yeah. All right. Pharaoh's chicken. And every raven after its kind, and the ostrich, and the nighthawk, and the sea mew.
What in the world?
That's a seagull. It's a seagull.
Is it really?
It makes
Oh, yeah.
total
Yeah,
sense
it is.
because
It
they're
is.
like mew 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 mew.
Yeah. Okay.
They're like meow. Meow meow meow. Give me
like
your French
kitty and
fries.
sea
Meow.
cats.
Okay. So the sea kitty cats, also known as seagulls, and the hawk after its kind, the little owl, and the great owl, and the
Aw.
horned owl.
They're too cute to eat.
It seems to me that probably in the original Hebrew, these were three totally different birds that we all just happen to call owls now. 'Cause otherwise, they could have just said owl. And I bet
But owls
the
have
same's
big
true.
eyes, and they can their heads spin around and around like Billy Idol.
Just
What? Okay. Yes. Yeah,
Sorry, that was a
I can't add
stretch.
nothing.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
It was real out of left field there. That's something I expect from Dedeker on her pain drugs. Okay, where do we leave off? Owls. Don't eat the owls. No,
yeah.
owls, no good. And the pelican, and the vulture, and the cormorant.
What in the world?
I have no. I don't even care anymore. And the stork,
doesn't
and
say.
the heron after its kind, and the hoopoe, and the bat.
Hoopy. Hoopo. Oh yeah, hoopo.
Hoopoe and bats.
And bats.
So the theme seems to be any winged thing that also eats other things.
Oh no way! That makes sense
that's
though.
it seems that way.
That's kind of smart because you don't know if it's going to eat something that's going to have a disease,
I guess,
and then you ingest it, and then
but
you're
also predators
screwed.
just tend to not taste that good, really, to us.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Let me meat-splain to you, Emily. That
I don't think I've ever had rabbit, for instance. Although that's a prey animal.
that's a prey animal. That's why prey animals
it's
are much more
delicious,
delicious and tasty to our
Why? Because they're
tastes.
fattier.
Yeah, fattier. There's a different. I'm sure there's a scientific explanation for the way that like the proteins break down in the muscle and stuff like that. But yeah, predators tend to not taste as
They're
good
more sinewy.
to us. Yeah, a little more
something?
sinewy, a little more tough usually.
Ew. I'm sorry.
Okay, maybe this is something we can look up in the bonus content, unless it'll horrify Emily too much.
All right.
Okay. All winged creeping things are unclean to you. They shall not be eaten. So like grasshoppers and creepy crawlies that also fly are not considered birds.
Or
so don't eat them.
flying snakes.
Yeah, all flying insects.
Yeah.
Okay. All creeping
Is what this
things.
says.
Okay. All right. Of all clean birds you may eat. We never really covered what that means, but I guess just anything that's
everyone
not,
else.
not the other
You're
ones.
good.
Okay. You shall not eat of anything that dies of itself. You may give it. You may give it to the sojourner who is within your gates, that he may eat it, or you may sell it to a foreigner. Those chunks.
Wow.
But for you are a holy place to Yahweh your God.
People. Holy people.
You're a holy people. Also a holy place.
So anything that
right?
dies on its own, you can't eat it.
Right. So if your goat
Wait,
just like keels over and dies one day, you can't eat it.
You can re-gift it if you like.
That's sad. Like, geez, like you have to kill the thing yourself in order to eat it.
Yeah, or someone else has to kill it, but it can't die on its own. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it makes it because again, it's the same thing. It's like you don't know what it died from. It could have been horribly diseased.
I guess.
And
just weird that it's like you can sell it though. That's fine.
I know that is pretty funny.
Good luck
to
to
those
the person
foreigners.
who eats it.
They'll take it.
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay.
God doesn't care about them.
No. You shall not boil a kid in its mother's milk. We've covered
That old
this
chestnut.
one before. Yeah.
Yep.
You shall
Good advice.
Yeah. You shall surely tithe all the increase of your seed, that which comes forth from the field year by year. It was a literal seed this time. Okay, great. Not metaphorical.
Not your. Yeah. Yeah.
You shall eat before Yahweh your God, in the place which he shall choose, to cause his name to dwell there, the tithe of your grain, of your new wine, and of your oil, and the firstborn of your herd and of your flock, that you may learn to fear Yahweh your God always. Because he takes the first foods. Great. If the way be too long for you, so that you're not able to carry it because the place is too far from you, which Yahweh your God shall choose to set his name there when Yahweh your God shall bless you, then shall you turn it into money.
Hey, presto, just turn it into money. Easy.
Alchemize that food into money. And bind up the money in your hand, and you shall go to the place which Yahweh your God shall choose.
So you can, instead of carrying a dead ox or a dead goat the way.
You give it to someone for money.
Yeah, you turn it into money.
You can't eat it. You got to sell it. And then you take that money
and then
and bring that. Okay. And you shall bestow the money for whatever your soul desires, for oxen or for sheep or for wine or for strong drink or whatever your soul asks you. And you shall eat there before Yahweh your God, and you shall rejoice, you and your household.
Wow, that's a good deal, honestly. It's like you're not giving it up to Yahweh for his sacrifice. You're just like, I'm going to eat next to you, Yahweh, and rejoice. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a better deal. I think this is an update.
It is.
Because here, too, like the firstborn and the first crops or whatever, the surplus of your seed, it also says like you're going to take it to where he is, to where Yahweh has said his name, and you're going to eat it there. It doesn't say you give it away. It does say you eat it. So in either case here, it's just you have to go there to eat the first stuff. Huh.
Yeah.
This is a much better deal. I feel like, I mean, maybe Yahweh's like, maintenance expenses have gone down for running these people. And so he's kind of giving a little discount here.
It's good.
You still got to come hang out with me while you eat it, but you can eat it now. Don't have to give it up. Okay, that's cool. All right. The Levite who is within your gate, you shall not forsake him, for he has no portion nor inheritance with you. At the end of every 3 years, you shall bring forth all the tithe of your increase in the same year, and shall lay it up within your gates. And the Levite, because he has no portion nor inheritance with you, and the sojourner, and the fatherless, and the widow, who are within your gates, shall come and shall eat and be satisfied, that what Yahweh your God may bless you all in the work of which, let me try that again, that Yahweh your God may bless you in all the work of your hand, which you do.
Is your Smirnoff or whatever the heck it's called, Zima warrior princess, having a moment?
I guess so. This is kind of cool. This chapter seems like way less harsh than the stuff we were reading just recently. This doesn't seem so bad.
That's good.
I wouldn't let my guard down quite yet.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It's also interesting, though, that the Levites and the sojourners and everyone, they get to eat once every 3 years when you bring your excess there so that they can eat. That does seem a little weird. How do they get by regularly, do you think?
They eat the sacrifices that everyone else is sacrificing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, we covered that before.
When they're in town. This is about the country bumpkins who are too far away to carry their sacrifice.
I see. Okay, well, also we're more spread out now because we're not all traveling as one tribe.
We suddenly have so much land.
Yeah.
Where are the Levites staying, and where's the Ark of the Covenant?
That's a good question, where the Ark ended up. Because I thought that the deal was that the Levites ended up kind of dispersed through where all the tribes of Israel were, because they all needed priests and things like that.
This is where it got buried, and then Indiana Jones had to come get it.
Yeah, maybe this is the point. I don't know. We got to keep listening for when it comes back again, if it does.
Or we'll have to look that up if need be. But all right. Shall we move on to Deuteronomy 15?
Do it.
So, at the end of every 7 years, you shall make a release. Whoa. This is the manner of the release. Every creditor shall release that which he has lent to his neighbor. He shall not exact it of his neighbor and his brother, because Yahweh's release has been proclaimed. This is cool. This is like all the people out there who have student loans, after 7 years, it's released. There you go.
And this is like a smaller version of the Jubilee thing that was supposed to happen every 50 years, where everyone's land reverts back.
Mm-hmm.
That also, I kind of learned later on after we did that episode that that was a thing that a lot of historians believe that the Hebrews never actually did, or maybe they did it the first time and just kind of never did it again. It was kind of one of those ideas that Yahweh had that people were like, yeah, okay, and then just kind of forgot
And then
about.
they're like, no.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Yahweh didn't get angry about that.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. Maybe Yahweh too was like, I don't know, that's impractical. How do you even count to 50 when your units are 7? I don't know. So
yeah, whatever. We won't do it. It's fine. So, of a foreigner you may exact it, but whatever of your what? But whatever of your is with your brother, your hand shall release. What? Did I just read? But whatever of your is with your brother, your hand shall release.
Whatever
of
sentence? Whatever of yours, I think it's missing an S. Whatever of yours is with your brother, your hand shall release. So he doesn't still owe you back for that stuff you lent him at the 7 years. Okay. But foreigners, you still can. Okay. I think I'm on board. I think I follow it.
Okay. I'm glad someone is. Okay. So, however, there shall be no poor with you, for Yahweh will surely bless you in the land which Yahweh your God gives you for an inheritance to possess it. If only you... Yes?
No, it's just that's interesting. There'll be no poor among you.
Yeah.
It's because the land's just so good that like you're all going to be doing
Yeah,
great.
you don't need to be poor. It's
Okay.
nice. If only you diligently listen to the voice of Yahweh your God to observe to do all this commandment which I command you this day, for Yahweh your God will bless you as he promised you, and you shall lend to many nations, but you shall not borrow, and you shall rule. Oh, interesting. You shall lend, but you shall not borrow, and you shall rule over many nations, but they shall not rule over you. Oh, okay.
I don't think that's going to work out. So
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I mean, you can say that, but who knows that that'll actually happen? God.
Yeah, that's an
Okay,
interesting.
nice try.
All right.
If there be with you a poor man, one of your brothers, within any of your gates in your land which Yahweh your God gives you, you shall not harden your heart, nor shut your hand from your poor brother, but you shall surely open your hand to him, and shall surely lend him sufficient for his need in that which he wants. Beware that there not be a base thought in your heart, saying, the 7th year, the year of the release, is at hand. And your eye be evil against your poor brother, and you give him nothing, and he cry to Yahweh against you, and it be a sin to you. Well, what was that? So, like, you're not giving him anything, and he freak out?
Yeah, it's saying like
then you're sinning?
if there are, this is actually kind of nice. I like this. That if there are poor people around, then lend to them, give them what they need to get by. And if you realize that like tomorrow is when the 7th year starts, and I have to then not get paid back for it, to not be greedy, but still give it anyway.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
Deal with it. Yeah. Oh, I do like that too. It's nice, Yahweh. Nice.
Today's
He's-
episode's
what?
kind of
Maybe
nice. I like this.
Maybe he's learning.
Yeah.
Maybe he's learning things. Good for him. You shall surely give him and your heart. I was like, don't call me Shirley. Sorry. You shall surely give him, and your heart shall not be grieved when you give to him, because that for this thing Yahweh your God will bless you in all your work and in all that you put your hand to. For the poor will never cease out of the land. Therefore I command you, saying, you shall surely open your hand to your brother, to your needy, and to your poor in your land. Is this a famous line? Or is that like a thing that
you're
Jesus
confusing that
says
with
later?
the Statue of Liberty.
Give me your tired, your poor,
Your poor,
your
your huddle
weary.
masses,
That's the
learning to
one.
Yeah.
breathe free. That's what you're thinking of.
But
I figured
mean,
that was biblical in a sense.
yeah.
In a sense, yes, in a
there's-
sense.
There's precedence here. I like this. This is good. This is a good one to bring out. Let me see. What is this? Deuteronomy 15:11.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a good one to bring out when people are bringing up obscure Old Testament things. It's like, hey, what about Deuteronomy 15:11? It says very clearly, that there will always be poor people, so you need to take care of them.
Yeah.
And that's an
I
interesting
like
one.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If your brother, a Hebrew man or a Hebrew woman, be sold to you and serve you 6 years, then in the 7th year you shall let him go free from you. Wow.
Okay.
Look at that. That's different than when Moses or Jacob or someone was trying to be... Who was trying to do something and get Rachel or someone or Leah? I don't know.
That was
right.
Jacob. Yes. Yeah.
Jacob was trying to get Rachel, but then
He
got
was just-
Leah,
but he was
and
just
then had to get
working-
Rachel later.
He was just working for Laban. I don't think he was supposed to be like he wasn't sold to him.
Yeah, he
As a
wasn't a
slave.
slave. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well. Yeah.
I mean, maybe it felt like it to him, but he wasn't.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. When you let him go free from you, you shall not let him go empty. You shall furnish him liberally out of your flock, and out of your threshing floor, and out of your wine press. Oh, they're going to give him some wine. How nice.
Yeah.
As Yahweh your God has blessed you, you shall give to him. You shall remember that you were a bondservant in the land of Egypt, and Yahweh your God redeemed you. Therefore I command you this thing today. It shall be, if he tell you, I will not go out from you, because he loves you and your house, because he is well with you. Then you shall take an owl,
No. No.
owl,
An awl.
all.
It's like a screwdriver. It's a punch essentially,
Like a hole punch?
like a hole punch almost. It's
Yeah.
an awl. It's imagine a screwdriver essentially.
To me, a hole punch and a screwdriver are two different things that occur.
It is used to punch holes in leather and other materials.
Oh, I know what that is. My mother
Yes.
has one of those. She's
Yes.
used it to like put holes in my belts.
Yes.
Oh,
an
yeah.
awl.
Yeah, that's an awl. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, I got it. All right. And thrust it through his ear to the door. What? And
Yeah, like pierce his ears with
and he shall be your servant forever. Also, to your maidservant you shall do likewise. Wait. Oh, I see.
Yes, listening to you process
where
that.
did we get here? So, yeah, I see. So if the guy's like, or the lady is like, I'm not going to go because I love you in your house. And you're like, fine, I'm going to pierce your ear
With this giant awl.
Yeah.
with this owl.
Wow.
And then that's it. Okay.
Ouchie.
Ouchie is
I
right.
guess that really reassures they can't quite go back on their word
yeah, I
if
guess,
you've gone through this
'cause you
ritual
see
of
these-
permanently modifying their body.
Right, yeah.
Awful.
Okay.
All right. It shall not seem hard to you when you let him go free from you, for to the double of the hire of a hireling he served you 6 years.
This is really good.
It's really hard to read. I'm so sorry,
What
everyone.
does the NIV say? Can you read verse 18
yeah.
in the NIV?
Yeah, verse 18 of, do not consider it a hardship to set your servant free, because their service to you these 6 years has been worth twice as much of that of a hired hand. Oh, and the Lord your God will bless you in everything you do. Well, that's way easier to read than this.
So just don't be
Yeah.
sad about it, because he was great anyway? Is that because he got you more than you would have paid for anyway? So, like, don't be sad that you got all that free or cheaper labor, I guess? Am I understanding
Yes.
this correctly? Is that the message here?
Sure.
Just don't make a stink about it.
yeah.
Don't
When
make
it's
a
time to
stink.
let him
for
go.
it.
Why? Just
Get
say
over
that.
it.
Don't make a stink about it.
Yeah. All the firstborn males that are born of your herd and of your flock you shall sanctify to Yahweh your God. You shall do no work with the firstborn of your herd, nor shear the firstborn of your flock. You shall eat it before Yahweh your God year by year in the place which Yahweh shall choose, you and your household. If it have any blemish, as if it be lame or blind, or any ill blemish, whatever.
Whatever.
I'm sorry. Whatever. It's so funny to me. You shall not sacrifice it to Yahweh your God. You shall eat it within your gates, the
Eat it.
unclean.
Don't let anyone see it in private.
just like eat it somewhere else. You shall eat it within your gates, the unclean and the clean shall eat it alike. Oh, as the gazelle and as the hart, meaning the deer. Only you shall not eat its blood. You shall pour it on the ground as water.
Gotta clarify that. They really don't like the blood. The blood.
They're really not into the
thing,
blood
yeah.
drinking.
No.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So. Okay. This is like I feel like Moses
A
slash
corner has been
Yahweh
turned.
or someone is really turning a corner here. It's like they heard through time that Brian was on our show kind of telling us like, no, like there's a lot of messages in here about like taking care of the poor and the disenfranchised and the enslaved. And then Moses was like, oh, right. That was the message. And so he's kind of changed his tune today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh my goodness. All right. Deuteronomy 16. Observe the month of Abib and keep the Passover to Yahweh your God.
I really
For in the
failed on
month
that one.
Yeah.
I don't even know where Abib is.
I know.
When
For in the
when it
month
is.
of Abib, Yahweh your God brought you forth out of Egypt by night. You shall sacrifice the Passover to Yahweh your God, of the flock and the herd, in the place which Yahweh shall choose to cause his name to dwell there. You shall eat no leavened bread with it. 7 days shall you eat unleavened bread therewith, even the bread of affliction, for you came forth out of the land of Egypt in haste, that you may remember the day when you came forth out of the land of Egypt all the days of your life. We are
And
never
don't
going
you
to forget it.
Yeah.
We're never
What
going to
is the-
forget it.
No, we will not. What is the bread of affliction?
I just
That's a
wrote it down
wonderful
to look
question.
up later.
Okay.
Great.
There shall be no yeast seen with you in all your borders.
I don't even want to see any.
Don't even get it near me, okay?
Goodness. Every last bit. Neither shall any of the flesh, which you sacrifice the first day at even, remain all night until the morning. Okay, we've been here before where don't let it stay overnight. Eat it all or get rid of the rest of it in the morning.
Burn it.
You may not sacrifice the Passover within any of your gates, which Yahweh your God gives you, but at the place which Yahweh your God shall choose to cause his name to dwell in, there you shall sacrifice the Passover at even, at the going down of the sun, at the season that you came forth out of Egypt.
I like
You
that.
shall-
At the going down of the sun.
I think that came up in the last one where it came across more that this translator is really stretching for synonyms for
Right.
What's
sunset.
that song? What's
Which
the
song?
"Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me"? Oh, it's
Elton
Elton John.
Yeah.
Cool.
I was thinking more of the song from Cabaret, the setting of the sun and the running of the deer and the whatever.
No, Jason, no. That is not from Cabaret. That's
It's
a carol.
It's a Christmas carol. You're right.
How did you confuse Cabaret with a Christmas Carol?
Because we think of that song as the the like Hitler Youth song.
Oh,
Well, because it's
great.
very similar to that song from Cabaret, that's like the sun
Yeah.
on
The
the
sun
meadow.
Right.
on the meadow
That's
is
true. The whole
summery
Tomorrow Belongs to
warm.
Me thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, but the kid version of Tomorrow Belongs to Me.
That's not what it is
What?
at all. But that's great.
It's a young Hitler Youth singing that song. All right. Anyways.
Okay. All right.
Well,
For more
Nazi-
information,
Nazis, Christmas, it's all the same, really.
Oh, dear.
Okay,
it's not
verse
just those
7.
two songs are the same.
You shall roast and eat it in the place which Yahweh your God shall choose, and you shall turn in the morning and go to your tents. 6 days you shall eat unleavened bread, and on the 7th day shall be a solemn assembly to Yahweh your God. You shall do no work therein.
Don't pick up sticks.
No
do not do it.
sticks.
Do
7
not.
weeks shall you number to you. From the time you begin to put the sickle to the standing grain, shall you begin to number 7 weeks.
So count 7 weeks.
Yeah, 7 weeks later. You shall keep the feast of weeks to Yahweh your God with a tribute of a freewill offering of your hand, which you shall give according to Yahweh your God, according as Yahweh your God blesses you. And you shall rejoice before Yahweh your God, you and your son and your daughter and your manservant and your maidservant and the Levite who's within your gates and the sojourner and the fatherless and the widow who are in the
How
midst of
many
you.
freaking people are with you?
Everyone's going to celebrate.
Everyone's there.
In the place which Yahweh your God shall choose to cause his name to dwell there. You shall remember that you were a bondservant in Egypt, and you shall observe and do these statutes. You shall keep the Feast of Tents 7 days. After that you have gathered in from your threshing floor and from your winepress. And you shall rejoice in your feast. Here we go. You and your son and your daughter and your manservant and your maidservant and
Drink.
the Levite and the sojourner and the fatherless and the widow who are within your gates.
Wait, what is a threshing? What?
The threshing is where you
Threshing.
You
Threshing floor.
do your wheat. You process wheat.
It's where you do
grain.
it, Emily.
You do the wheat. The thing with the wheat.
Cool.
That thing. That's
Neat.
threshing. Yeah.
You're separating the wheat heads from the wheat stalk.
That's where the
Okay.
wheat from the chaff comes from.
Is it?
I think so.
I think we need to look up the wheat processing process.
Clearly.
All right,
We
look
need
it up
to
for the
learn.
bonus.
For the
look it up for the
bonus.
bonus. How does one process wheat? Back in biblical times.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
7 days shall you keep a feast to Yahweh your God in the place which Yahweh shall choose, because Yahweh your God will bless you in all your increase and in all the works of your hands, and you shall be altogether joyful. 3 times in a year shall all your males appear before Yahweh your God in the place which he shall choose, in the feast of unleavened bread, and in the
so
feast
tasty.
of weeks, yes, and in the feast of tents. And they shall not appear before Yahweh empty.
Wait, so is
Every
this,
man.
sorry, is this the same 3 festivals we already mentioned? It's like
Oh yeah.
also
Yeah.
in those. This is
Also
so
in
this
those,
isn't
all
a
the
separate
dudes.
thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
Every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessing of Yahweh your God, which he has given you. Judges and officers shall you make you in all your gates, which Yahweh your God gives you, according to your tribes, and they shall judge the people with righteous judgment.
Righteous.
You
Righteous.
shall not.
Right. Wait, hang on. Righteous judgment of Judges. So we're not celebrating anymore. We celebrated and now we're
No.
done. We've moved on with no
We've
paragraph
moved
break.
We hate
so
celebrating.
Far along.
Does this get
So
a
far along.
new heading in the NIV, Emily? Does
Let's
this
see.
get any
Yes.
kind of a little?
It's something about judgments. Let me look.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, it was the Festival of Weeks, then the Festival of Tabernacles, and now just Judges
Great.
It's like a trailer for the book coming up.
for 18 through 20, and then there's a small subheader for the end.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my. You shall not wrest justice, that's W-R-E-S-T, rest like wrestle.
You shall not wrestle justice.
Wrestle
Do
justice.
Do not pervert justice.
Okay.
I see. You shall not respect persons. Don't respect anybody.
Don't show partiality is what this says.
Okay.
Because
Gotcha.
I was going to say, wow, the Bible's really supporting Dedeker's way of life here.
What do you mean, not respecting people? What are you saying to me right now?
That was a low blow.
I was being sassy. Just talking about
Gosh.
your level of sassiness with your co-hosts.
Jeez. Neither shall you take a bribe, for a bribe does blind the eyes of the wise and pervert the words of the righteous. That's true.
That's good. Although, I will say, it does work out for the best sometimes. A little bribery,
Does it?
Well, yeah, like, you're in Russia and your bag is really heavy. And instead of paying the $100 extra, you pay an extra $10, $20 as a bribe to the ticket taker person, and you're good. Yeah?
Do you speak from personal experience in this matter?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Wow, wow. Okay.
So, bribes are all right sometimes.
We did almost end up having to bribe Laotian policemen when we were in Laos.
Oh, that's
Really?
true. That's what
Very
they wanted
narrowly.
us to do.
They wanted us to. They
Goodness.
wanted to bribe.
Were you
It
like,
was-
I don't know how to bribe?
We kind of,
Oh
yeah.
no, we know how to bribe. That's a whole adventure story for another time.
Oh my goodness.
We didn't end up having to bribe them, fortunately,
No,
or
we
pay
didn't.
them
Well, that's
anything.
good.
Actually,
Huh.
that which is altogether just shall you follow, that you may live and inherit the land which Yahweh your God gives you. You shall not. Okay, hang on. This is the one that has the little mini heading, Emily.
Yeah.
What does it
It's
say?
called worshiping other gods.
Oh
Well,
boy.
I think I know where
God
this is
forbid.
going.
Yeah.
You shall not plant you an Asherah of any kind of tree beside the altar of Yahweh your God, which you shall make you.
He just can't get over her. It's never
too
it's really
painful.
never going to end. Yeah, I know. He's got to bring her up all the time.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And I like too that it's of any kind of tree. It doesn't matter if you make it of a different kind of wood. Just don't do them because Yahweh is still
do it.
really upset
Yeah.
about that breakup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Neither shall you set yourself up a pillar which Yahweh your God hates.
Like a pillar of salt because he likes those.
No,
he
hang
likes
on.
making
He
people
likes
into
pillars
pillars of salt.
It is confusing because often in Genesis, people would set up like a pillar of stones.
Right. That
And
would
pour
be a
oil
sacred
This
on
place.
is
them.
this is what it says. It says, "Do not erect a sacred stone, for
But Yahweh used to be
these
into
the Lord
that.
your God hates, because the Lord your God hates."
Well, that was back in the day when we had nothing but stones. Now we have better things like gold and silver and copper, and he can hold out for much better material as long as it's not in the shape of a calf or a caterpillar or the moon or the stars.
Wait,
or a
Right. I like that. It's also making me think of just if you read it, if you did believe, just read this and it's an instruction manual. You read this and you go, no pillars. God hates those. And then you go and you look at
Other
every
things, and you're like,
ancient
wait.
church ever with all the pillars inside, and you're like, wait, no, Yahweh hates those.
No,
Let
you
me-
just can't direct your worship at said
look
pillar.
at-
It can be close to it.
Okay, can I read you a different translation?
Please
You
do.
may.
This is from the Message Bible.
Of
Good,
course.
friendly, wholesome Message Bible says,
Yeah, it's the sweetest and wholesomest.
don't set up phallic sex pillars.
What?
God, your God, hates them.
God, comma, your God, comma, hates them?
Yes. Don't set up phallic sex pillars. And it's funny because I'm scanning through all these other translations here, and no one else says anything like that.
Yeah, is that where why did they go there? Is that what he's saying?
That's a thing. It's a thing in Hinduism that the lingam is this phallic stone that is set up as a proxy for Shiva.
like the yoni?
Yes, the lingam of Lingam and Yoni fame. Yes.
Classic folk duo?
Classic
Lingham
duo.
and
It's a folk duo. Oh
Yeah,
my
like
goodness.
a
Can we make a folk band called
my
Lingham and Yoni?
Oh,
It's like
jeez.
Sonny and Cher.
It does. Yeah. Oh boy. Okay, so is this like in like in Japan? There's that city that's famous for all the penis statues.
Yeah.
Was this Yahweh
Is
specifically
there?
making reference to that? Being like, don't do that.
No, it's got to be another reference of this is what these other weirdos next to us do. Don't do that.
Yeah, other
Please.
gods
I
are into
hate
these.
that.
Don't do it.
I hate that. I hate being a knockoff.
Wow.
I want to be an original.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Okay, so what do y'all think's gonna happen next time?
I mean, I like this new leaf that Moses/Yahweh has turned over. This new positive, like, oh, right, remember, we're the good guys. We should be cool. We should be taking care of the poor and the sojourner. I mean, we can sell him that kind of gross meat, but like overall, though, we'll be good. We'll take care
We gotta
of
make
him.
a little profit here.
Right.
Yeah, you know.
And the rules
But
seem to be
help
getting a
him
little
out.
more chill, too.
Yeah. I wonder if that'll keep on happening. Like, if it gets progressively more chill as we get towards the New Testament, or if it's going to ebb and flow.
That's a good question, yeah. Like,
Do you know? Do you remember, or no?
I do not remember. No. I mean, I don't remember anything. We've been through so many iterations of these rules that to try to piece out what's what and what's the new rules is no.
I feel like, yeah,
I
all
couldn't.
of the kind of rule-sounding verses from the Bible just get whipped out individually whenever they're convenient for whoever's talking,
Yeah.
right? And
Sounds
so
about right.
I don't think they were ever presented... Like, honestly, us reading this was the first time I was presented with the idea that these rules are not being repeated, that they're being amended, that they're being changed, and that or clarified or whatever. That is new to me. My assumption was that all of these books in the Old Testament that cover rules are just a list of rules that don't repeat their, discrete rules, and there's just a lot of rules. And kind of realizing, oh no, actually this is more of a history of how this is changing, because now we're not traveling around in tents anymore. We're setting up camp in these lands now, I guess.
Yeah.
So just
Interesting.
yeah, I'm curious. And timeline wise, we're what? Like, I think we're 1400-ish BC. Is that, let me do a quick little Bible timeline. I'm curious about this because I'm wondering if we compared to like the ebbs and flows of cultures becoming more conservative, less conservative, things like that, if we might be able to get a sense. Yeah, this is Leviticus. We're looking at 1445 BC.
We're in Deuteronomy, not Leviticus.
Oh, you're right. 1406. So, yeah. Oh, right. 40 years or 20 years. Yeah, 40 years later. Right. Because we had to have 40 years for everyone to die.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So 1406. So we basically have 1400 years before the events of the New Testament would be starting. Yeah.
Wow. Well,
So-
we got a long way to go. Everyone buckle up.
Yeah, but if you think about, how a culture can change over that many years,
Yeah.
it wouldn't surprise me if we kind of
yeah.
ebb and flow on how
Yeah.
strict these rules are.
You're probably right.
Probably also as we spread across the land, that each culture might be a little different than the others. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm definitely excited to see what happens next time. If you have any fan theories or fan fiction,
Please send us fan fiction.
no. Please post your fan fiction in the Drunk Bible Study Fans and Fellowship group on Facebook so that all of us can enjoy it. We want to thank you for joining us for Drunk Bible Study today. If you want even more Drunk Bible Study, including ad-free episodes, early releases, personal toasts on the show, and more, become one of our patrons at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. If you enjoy the show, take a moment to subscribe and then write us a nice review on iTunes or Stitcher, letting other people know what you like about it. Find us on Twitter at Drunk Biblecast, on Instagram at Drunk Bible Study, or send us an email to info@drunkbiblestudy.com. Drunk Bible Study is created and produced by Jace Lindgren, Emily Matlack, and me, Dedeker Winston. Our theme song is Book Club by Josh and Anand from their album Home of the. The theme song for the book of Deuteronomy is Truth in the Stones by Kevin MacLeod. For more information, visit us at drunkbiblestudy.com.